no less than to seek and find our own personal freedom. For this, we must awake each day in utter clarity that these are deeply momentous hours in our lives when we will either shrink from similar greatness, prefer the approval of small minds, or stand on the shoulders of the noble and free people who refuse to settle. So let us each in our own way, in our own voice, echo their courage and proclaim freedom as our fight, our cause, the very challenge we awaken to experience and achieve. Just want to kind of frame your thoughts before we get started. All right? You ready? We're going to go on a trip. I'll get you help. Let's go. All right. So I come to you from Spring Valley, California. It's an unincorporated community in San Diego County. We laugh at that where I'm from because the sign greets you no matter where you come from. If you come from the east, if you come from the west, you come from the south or the north, you're going to see that sign when you get to Spring Valley. We want to let people know it's unincorporated, but we work hard. Right? We believe in who we are. We believe in hard work. We believe in community. We believe that it takes a village to raise a child. That Mr. Guillory's daughter is my daughter when she's in the building. That Jacob is my son when he's in the building. That Jacob Allen is my son when he's in the building because he matters. That's how we approach things where I'm from. So that's what I bring with me when I come in here today, each and every day. All right? Okay, so Spring Valley, California is also the birthplace of Apple. And so I greet you with the greetings from the Monte Vista Monarch 1996 class of Abbott, which I'm proud to say boasts of a 100% college graduation rate of every Abbott student that walked across that stage when I was in high school. So I think that's important that you guys go to that standard. All right? Advancement of individual determination means a great deal to me because being prepared for college by Mrs. Jane Maddox, her husband, Coach Todd Maddox, and Coach Zach Peck and his family, and our amazing tutors afforded me the opportunity to stand in places that many young men who look like me do not. It afforded me opportunities to go to college and meet people, travel across the country from coast to coast, and engage with different learners and lives and lights and beacons, and share with experiences that we've all held different and common.
Your coloring book is over.
So as I get started, I want to also say this. I know she's not here, but one of my favorite people on the planet, my former English teacher, the late Mrs. Carol Pyle, who always told us that it's important to make sure that we are good citizens first, and the classroom is a reflection of that citizenry, and everything that you do outside of that needs to reflect the greatness that is within you. So I want to say that, and I want you guys to know that everything that comes out of my mouth from here is based on those things. All right? Okay, I want to talk to you about something that's called Focus, Fight, and Finish. I wear this red bracelet, and on this bracelet it says Focus, Fight, and Finish. So tonight's topic, Focus, Fight, and Finish. Okay, focus. It's something we all seem to be struggling with these days. We buy fidget spinners, cell phones, iPads, whatever else we can find to stimulate our multi-distracted minds. In the past, we used pay phones and house phones and knocking on the door, and those things ruled the world. We were a singularly focused group about community, about love, about relationships, about connections, right? And meaningful interactions with neighbors and friends. You used to go play basketball in the neighbor's front yard with the old man down the street. You get the old man, you come out, you might see Jalen's dad out with his knee brace. You understand what I'm saying? Mr. Guillory might be out there. Boy, when I was your age, I used to score about 30. You know they line, I ain't score 30. Right? But that's what we used to do. That's how I learned all my moves. An old man basketball game. I seen the lady play. That's where she got. I know where she got that game. All right, here we go. So now look at us. We multitask everything. We drive and text. We drive and talk. Right? We watch movies and YouTube videos at the same time. We read books and listen to music and talk on the phone and watch TV all at the same time. I don't know how in the world we're pulling this off. Not retaining a single thing. Right? We do all these things without even engaging with one another. So tonight, I want to challenge us to commit to something different. The other day I read a quote on focus that I believe is appropriate for this evening. Life is like a camera. Focus on what's important and you'll capture it perfectly. As paparazzi stalk celebrities just to snap hundreds, if not thousands of photos, they are looking for that one shot that will earn them enough money to get to their next meal or pay the bills for another month or two. How many of us are maximizing the snapshots in our lives? I challenge us and everyone in this room to think of our lives like the camera and begin to use the seconds of each of our lives like flashes and photos focused on what's important to each of us. You see, we spend so much of our time distracted by the unimportant things that we lose sight of what we're supposed to capture. What's blurring your view of your wondrous life that faces you each morning when you brush your teeth or at night when you wash your face? What's on your memory card that needs to be deleted? Freshman, what are you focusing on that reflects the greatness of your promise? Sophomore, what details do you need to zoom in on that will bring you a step closer to being the leaders you were born to be? Juniors, what actions in your lives will tell a story worthy of college admission? Seniors, as you depart campus in just a few weeks, which new lenses will you use to capture the patterns of color, creating your future excellence? How will you use your focus to share the bountiful opportunities that education provides with others in need? Use your lens to capture tomorrow's tapestries and weave them into a storybook of your promise. Share those books with those not afforded the chance to expand on their portfolios of promise. Focus your efforts on the things meant to add meaning to the lives of others instead of seeking followers or likes. I say this because followers and likes don't always add up to support in hard times. Remember, cameras take pictures, whether good, bad, or ugly. Tragedies fit inside the same frame used to illustrate triumph. Long ago, a shoe company sent 2 scouts, marketing scouts. They wanted to check out a new region in Africa because they wanted to see if they could expand their business. And so the 2 men set out to this, kind of remote region in Africa, and they were to report back to the headquarters and tell them what they thought. Could they expand the business? What they thought about the clientele, potential boom in their growth. And so the first scout, after being there for a while, he makes an observation and he sends it back to the company and he says, situation's hopeless. They don't wear shoes. The second guy on the exact same trip, looking at the exact same people, sends his triumphantly. He's excited. He says, I got glorious news. It's a glorious business opportunity. They have no shoes. You see, your perspective in life is what shapes your focus, right? It shapes your motivation, your reason for doing things. The first guy approached the region without recognizing the presence of possibility, while the second scout sought to understand before being understood. Shape your focus with the perspective of possibility, and you will never lose sight of your purpose in life. That brings me to our second point. Fight. Tell you a story. And if I start to crack up, just work with me. My mother was and still is one tough lady. Every year when I start a school year, I tell my students that my mother built elevators when I was a child. And most of the time you look at me with this puzzled look, it's just how like, elevators. I didn't know women build elevators, right? And so I said, yeah, So I think most of the time they're thinking me lying to them, or they're trying to imagine how big this lady is. They're like, that's got to be a big lady building elevators, right? Or this dude's lying through his teeth. I don't know if I'm going to believe this dude. Well, I'm not lying. My mother built elevators, and she's not as big as me. But she is tougher than an overcooked $2 steak. When I was 12 years old, I was at a baseball field. I used to play baseball. Mom wouldn't let me play football until I was old. So I was at a baseball field and I got hit by this kid riding a bike. And I broke a bone in my right leg. And for 2 weeks, life's about to crack up. For 2 weeks, my mother would not take me to the doctor. Now, some of y'all gonna identify with this. She used to say, boy, quit whining, quit complaining. That don't hurt. You all right. Go soak in some Epsom salt. And see, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm saying. Rub some castor oil on. What in the world does that do? Take some ibuprofen. Y'all know them horse pills they try to give you? About 45 million milligram ibuprofen. It takes like 2 hours to swallow one. I'm popping in things like Tic Tacs, right? And so 2 weeks passed, my grandmother finally convinces her, oh, Judith, take the boy to the doctor. He can't bend his leg. Now, we done went camping over these 2 weeks. I'm hopping around on a mountainside with a leg that won't go straight. You know, she's quit acting like a punk. You gotta come out. She's trying to kill me, right? And so I'm limping and complaining. Grandma finally gets us, so we go to the doctor. I spent over 14 days with a broken bone in my right leg. But I was learning mental toughness. I was learning how to fight, right? But I gotta tell you, that day we went to the doctor, and he put them x-rays up on that screen, the blood rushed through my body. Like I was hot. But I was so excited because I was validated. Like I told you something was wrong with me. You didn't believe me. But that was just my mother's elevator building brutality. That's just how she is. This fall, I tore my hamstring on the football field trying to run and be young. My mother flew out from California. She's still tough. I went to surgery on October 14th. October 15th, after I had the surgery, this less than 24 hours later, the doctor tells me I need to use a walker. Now my grandparents both had walkers, and here I am in my house in Crosby with a walker. And here comes good old elevator brutality. What you using the walker for? What's wrong with you? Walk it off. He done fixed it already. What you waiting on? Put baby in it. Well, Mom, I just had surgery yesterday. But let that little 5-year-old little boy over there get a little scratch fall in the grass. Oh, grandson, I got it. I'm like, wait a minute, what was this lady when I was growing up? But what I didn't understand, though, is it didn't matter how long I was in that cast, because I couldn't tell you how long I was in there. I can't tell you. But I've never forgotten the weeks that I spent limping around and learning to be tough, learning to fight, learning that life isn't going to always be straight. Sometimes it's bent. Sometimes it's going to bend you, but it can't break you. This isn't about that cast, though. It ain't about that broken bone or that tough lady. It's about what we do when life challenges us. It's about standing up after getting knocked down. Former Navy SEAL Mark Devine says, the first secret to mental toughness, as simple as it may sound, is to recognize and embrace the power of choice and how that power can shape our lives. Simply put, we can choose to crumble under pressure, or we can stand up and stand tall and be strong. You will find many challenges as you part ways with this campus seniors. You'll walk past temptations every day on campus on those message boards, especially some of y'all going to Austin. You'll pass those message boards. There'll be a party on 6th Street almost every night. You're going to face the temptation to study or go out there and party with the rest of the folks. What you going to do? Reason to quit school and go back home will smack you in the face the first time you take it easy on an exam or an essay. The reassessment model that happens here does not follow you to college. Life begins on June 2nd at about 9:15. It's time to go. Does that make sense? Y'all hear me singing? I'm just trying to help. You hear me knocking? Let me in. All right? The only place that you're going to get sympathy on a college campus is going to be in the dean's office lobby with the rest of the kids that's about to be on academic probation. Like, oh, yeah, bro, I remember. Jalen, bro, I tried. It was like, Kayla, you were in that Yeah, that class, physics, girl. Woo! That's the only place you're gonna get sympathy. Nobody else cares. You ever notice your parents talk about how many people cared that they were tired and had to go to work? No, the same way they don't care that you're tired and you got to go to school. Hello, it's life. You gotta live. All right? This is what I need y'all to do for me. My avid kids, I need to see how loud y'all can get. Pretend like y'all not texting for a minute. Okay? Just pretend like you're not texting, and I'm going to speed this up. They told me to spread it out. When your world is turned upside down, you get to school, and you feel like crawling into a ball and curling up and calling mama. Mama, I didn't know it was like this. Daddy. A grown man hit me dead in the mouth on the football field. I have never been hit that hard. Not even that time I missed curfew and you try to punch a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. I need to come home. When y'all get to those moments, when you fail your first test and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't do this at Crosby. And I failed a test. Whoa. When you fail that first test, it's okay. What I want you to do is when you hear that voice in the back of your head that says it's time to quit, you know what I want you to do? I want you to stand up wherever you are, and I want you to say, I will fight. Okay? I want you to do it, so we're going to practice right now. I need all the avid kids stand up. Stand up now, let's go, hurry. Don't make me come to your class tomorrow. I know where you are. Okay? Stand on up. Now repeat after me. I will fight. No, the devil done lied to y'all. I will fight. I will fight. With some passion, I will fight. When everything feels like it's going wrong and you can't do a doggone thing but cry and call home, I want you to stand up where you are and you shout. If you got to go get in the mirror, you say, dang it, I will fight. Say it. No, y'all playing. Parents, don't feed these kids no more. I need y'all to say it like your mom's about to take your cell phone and your daddy's gonna put that hole in your chest from the time you miss curfew. I will fight. Y'all couldn't wake a dead man right now. Come on. I will fight. It's gonna be the last time, but I'm gonna come down and take his belt off. I will fight. That's what I'm talking about, Jenny. It's about time. Thank you. Okay, fighting, it means it's a choice of excellence over complacency. Fighting means reaching deep within to persevere the storms of life with or without shelter. You don't need an umbrella. You can get wet. You're not going to melt. Fighting means leaning on the people who hold your best interest. Look around. They're in this room. They're not on Twitter. They're right here. They're not on Facebook. They're next to you. You can touch them. You touched them when you got here. They held you before you could hold yourself up. Does that make sense? You with me? They ain't your Twitter friends, I got 1,000 likes, coach. I got 1,000. You got half a friend. About as popular as an unborn child. Don't worry about popularity. You need to worry about your promise. Okay? Focus on what's important in your life. That's the F in fight. Likes don't equate to love. Have integrity. There's no such thing as a minor lapse of integrity. You don't soar to speed, you speed. You don't soar to eat, you eat. You don't soar to breathe, you breathe. Demonstrate grit when things are tough. Remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Be humble and triumph. When you get that A on that first test, don't want to celebrate. You earned it. But don't let that cockiness carry over to the next one and get an F. Be humble. Be gracious. Be grateful. Be tenacious every second of your life. Attack every opportunity. Don't wait for it. Nobody's going to hand you anything but hard times and bubble gum, and that ain't a big supply. You with me? There's some hard times coming. by Mark Divine, and I'm on my way, I'm almost there. Excellence becomes both an ideal and breath and blood habit. Underneath it all, it comes down to choice. The choice to slow down enough to pay attention to the details. Yes, details matter. Make your bed at home. Get up in the morning and make it. You'll feel like a champion when you get back to it. And it feels good when you pull back them sheets and you slide your butt in there after you get out the shower. Be nice. When you slide into that shower, you're gonna feel real good. I'm telling you. Anybody know that feeling? I know Mr. Geaton knows everything about making them beds. Simple fact. I know you know. The details of your life matter, young people. Every day, you get 86,400 seconds deposited into your account of life. That's all you get. That's what we got. You got to use them or lose them. You can't hold on to them. There's no savings account on life. That clock is ticking. Make the decision to show up every moment of your life and live a life that adds value to others, regardless of the circumstances. It don't matter what they look like. They could be ugly, they could be fat, they could be tall, they could be skinny, they could be cute. Treat them like God made them, because He made you too. Remember, nothing is impossible to the mind focused on the possible. And it's time to finish. 5 years ago, a cardiologist walks into the room of his patient to deliver much anticipated news. The patient, lying impatiently on the gurney, waiting to hear the doctor's diagnosis, quieted the frantic thoughts in his mind long enough to hear the doctor say that he needed to stop his heart long enough to reset it because of an arrhythmia that would definitely lead to stroke or heart attack. And so the patient lays in bed and he looks up and he says, "What? You gonna do what?" Well, we need to stop your heart so that we can restore it back to its normal rhythm. And so the man's laying in the bed. He says, "Well, can you give me some time to consider my options? I need to, decide what it is I want to do. I need to get my affairs in order just in case, your reset button don't really work." And so the doctor said, "You got 45 minutes." And so the grandson of a North Carolina farmer laid in the bed and thought of what to do. He laid there thinking about the things he had not finished in his life. Raising his kids, graduating from college, teaching his son how to tie a necktie, watching his kids graduate from high school and college, becoming the man he was born to be, seeing his spouse smile from her soul, redeeming himself for past wrongdoings, and helping others find their purpose and serving them selflessly. Because he hadn't finished enough of the things that he valued in life, and now he was finding their value even more important because he's facing a reset heart or a stopped heart. He didn't know if he was coming back. And so while he was laying there waiting to die so that his life could begin again, he was thinking. And many of us are just the same as that man in that hospital. We're waiting to die instead of living. We are breathing instead of enjoying the awesomeness of life, the richness of existing beyond societal norms escapes us, like the fleeting moments of life pass us by. I want to share this poem with you that I think summarizes pretty much everything I'm talking about. I'm going to take my time, hopefully we can catch it and get what we need. And then I'm going to shut up. It's called The Dash. Now I know, Kayla, you heard this before. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spend your dash? How will you spend your dash going forward? Will you make other people feel good about themselves and lighten their burden? Will you slow down enough to smell the roses and the freshness of the wind? Will you love the people in your lives and seek to understand before being understood? Will you focus on life's possibilities instead of the broken promises? Will you fight through the hard times, guaranteed to knock you down? Will you finish everything with a passion for life that's never been seen? Remember that man in the bed reflecting on the things he hadn't finished? That man in the bed is me. My avid brothers and sisters, the answer to these questions lies in your choice. Let us choose this day as the day we find our focus, the moment we decide to fight and launch our lives to a spectacular finish. May God bless you on your journey. Thank you.